So if I'm timing this video right, the most recent episode of Hunter's Quest that has aired has introduced another version of Wendy's Dragon Slayer enchantment, the Dragon Slayer Seal. And I know a lot of you have some questions as to what exactly it is and how Wendy knows how to utilize his ability, and that's what this video is for. Because this is a very useful and incredibly powerful enchantment type ability that Wendy has been able to create and learn in order to help her friends in the 100 Years Quest. But before I get into breaking this ability down, don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell for updates on future videos. Really helps and shows you guys enjoy the content I make here on the channel and shows you want to see more. Fairy tale videos have just been so much fun to make lately, and I'm really happy to talk about one of my favorite series with all of you guys. But with that out of the way, let's jump right into the video. So at the point of me recording this, it's before the anime released its first episode, but this video should be released shortly after the battle against Mercphobia has begun, and Wendy has enchanted Gray, Erza, and Lucy with Dragon Slayer attributes. Now, if you haven't seen Fairy Tail or reread or rewatched Fairy Tail in a long time, you're probably wondering what this is and how Wendy was able to just bring this out of seemingly nowhere. Well, let me bring you guys back to the Irene fight in the Alvarez arc of Fairy Tail. During this arc, Wendy and Erza were fighting against Irene, and in this fight, Wendy quickly began to evolve as an enchantment wizard. She learned different types of enchantment, like body enchantment, and more different types of physical and magical enhancements. But through this fight, the most important thing that Wendy ended up discovering through her battle against Irene was a Dragon Slayer enchantment, or by what's called the Dragon Slayer Seal. Where in this fight, when after Erza manages to break a meteor while her bones are shattered, falling down to the ground to try and land one big swing on her mother and finally defeat her, Wendy, with just the bit of strength that she has left after being beaten down, enchants Erza's sword with Dragon Slayer properties, allowing her to actually cut through Irene's dragon scales and deal a massive wound to her. Because as we all know, dragons have very thick scales, very thick skin, and that's a common thing in any form of fiction, but in Fairy Tail it's incredibly true, as it can also make it so that any type of other magic can't really affect them that much due to how powerful they truly are. And so Dragon Slayer magic is really the only thing that could give anybody the close ability to even harm a dragon, and thus Wendy, managing to realize this possibility towards the end of this fight, ends up making an incredibly useful ability for future fights, essentially making anybody she wants a Dragon Slayer. Now, in the fight against Mercphobia, Wendy pulls this off again. But an important thing to notice is that the Dragon Slayer Seal is actually a temporary enhancement, similar to how you increase someone's speed, strength, and durability, or even give them a general levitation ability so they can have more mobility in a fight, similar to how she boosts everyone's baseline stats in almost every battle. The Dragon Slayer Seal is basically just that, but just applying a new attribute to anyone else's magical powers or weapons in order to allow them to harm dragons. But it is a temporary power boost. So let me give a Pokemon analogy real quick. Let's say I have a Charizard and he's fighting against a Dragonite. If I Mega Evolve him into Mega Charizard X, he also becomes a Dragon type as well, and he also has a new ability like Tough Claws to make his physical attacks more powerful. Dragon Seal basically works similar to that, as it just adds a new attribute upon the initial power boost. Like how Mega Evolution of Pokemon can sometimes add a different attribute to a already existing Pokemon's attribute and make it a dual attribute or swap out different attributes in the middle of a fight. Now, what's also interesting about the Dragon Slayer Seal is that there's actually a way for you to tell when Wendy ends up utilizing it, as once she unleashes this ability, the guild marks actually change from their initial ones. They have a lighter color, and the design ends up having a more draconic looking feature to it. But another feature to this enchantment is that Wendy doesn't just give people this seal to give them Dragon Slayer properties. No, she can give them the seal, but the enchanter can choose when to activate this enchantment. So if the Fairy Tail Guild are fighting against a dragon or even their minions, Wendy in advance can give them the Dragon Seal, and then at any point during the fight, whoever she enchants can just say the words Dragon Slayer Seal release and awaken the Dragon Slayer attribute that was added onto them, adding an extra bit of actual strategy to these fights. Because if they're going up against a dragon, but they have minions that aren't dragons themselves, Wendy in advance could potentially give them the ability to utilize Dragon Slayer magic from the get-go, and as the fight draws on, if they end up getting to the dragon and they don't have time for Wendy to give them this enchantment, they can already have it and they can activate it whenever they want, as you can utilize this special seal and gain this attribute whenever you want, as long as you are already enchanted with it, and you can end up awakening it whenever you see fit in a fight. But what's even more impressive is that this enchantment was actually taught to Erza by Wendy, as spoilers for the 100 Years Quest manga in the future, which will probably be in the second quarter of the anime, so skip to the timestamp if you don't want to be spoiled for a big thing that happens in Core 2 of 100 Years Quest's first season. Ready? Alright, let's get started. So this actually happens during the Alderaan arc, when Erza is fighting off against a brainwashed Loxus, and they go through a really intense fight. And in this fight, Erza actually ends up using the Dragon Seal herself, and in doing so, actually enchants Dragon Slayer properties into her own swords, creating the Fire Dragon's Flame Sword and the Ice Demon's Cold Air Sword. And this gives Erza more capabilities, as now she has swords that whenever she wants, can imbue Dragon Slayer properties into any one of them, which is already insane. Wendy knows how to enchant people. She can enchant Gray, Lucy, and Erza, or anybody else in the guild with Dragon Slayer properties whenever she wants. But by teaching this ability to Erza, who, thanks to her re-equip magic and storage of multitudes of different weapons and even armors, she can enchant them with Dragon Slayer properties, thus not only increasing the effectiveness of her swords with just the powers of a Dragon Slayer, but also making them effective against dragons. This adds a whole new layer to Erza's arsenal, and makes her an even more powerful opponent and more versatile against dragons in the future, which I freaking love. It's also kind of really fitting due to the fact that Wendy's an enchanter and Erza's mother is an enchanter, and they had a whole enchanter battle like I mentioned at the start of this video. So it's kind of funny that Erza learned to use enchanted magic from Wendy, knowing that her mother is also a master enchanter. I just find that a fun bit of detail. But yeah, this was a really cool reveal and a really nice utilization of this new power. Now that's kind of it for a super big spoilery section of the video, but the Dragon Seal is a very useful and very viable option in a fight, especially in an entire sequel series based around Dragon Slayer, making it a much bigger focus than it originally was in the series, due to having to fight a multitude of different dragons throughout the course of the series. And introducing this aspect so early on gives us more to look forward to with initial fights. It makes anybody capable, for a limited time, to be a Dragon Slayer and participate in these fights to their fullest. But yeah, that's really it for the video. The Dragon Seal is very cool. I love its utilization and its reveal, and it adds a whole new layer to future fights against dragons and the absolute units that are the dragon gods. But what did you guys think of this video? What did you guys think of this power boost in its initial reveal in the anime, if you're anime only, or in the manga in its utilization? Let me know in the comment section down below. And if you haven't already, like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for updates on future videos. Really helps, and it shows you guys enjoy the content I make here on the channel and shows you want to see more. And with all that said and done, I hope you all enjoyed the video, and I hope you all have an awesome day.